Good evening.
So good news and bad news this week then for Blues. Decent Tuesday night against Huddersfield. We got the job done in the end. Got the 1-0 win through an Alfie May goal, which I thought was a good quality goal. And Stansted really impressed me when he came on in that game. We'll pick the bones out of that. And then our first defeat of the season at Tilton on Saturday, where we were a bit lacklustre, a bit huffed and puffed a bit. And I think if we were still playing now at Tilton, we wouldn't have scored, would we, Mark Meredith? I'll start with you, mate.
Yeah, it was a tough one, wasn't it? It was, I was expecting us to get beat at some point during the season, and I also thought it would come in probably the way it did. We looked tired and a bit sluggish, and they had a couple of chances first half that were pretty simple chances that they missed, and I've been really impressed with the substitutions that he's made. Like talking about Stansted on Tuesday against Huddersfield, I thought was a great sub, but to get it wrong a little bit on Saturday, and I'm not blaming Davies on that. Obviously, he went for it when he at half time and thought that he could change a little bit, but I don't know. I think the wrong players maybe went off, and after we, as you said, after we conceded a goal, we didn't look like scoring one, did we? And probably still not now. I'm not a big Dykes fan right now. I think he's struggled to make an impression since he's been here. We'd have to, give him some more time and a chance. The Stansfield one, listen, for me, great buy, but I think bringing him in has really knocked Alfie May down a little bit in regards to just position on the field. He's not getting in the positions he needs to get in anymore. He's a prolific number 9 goal scorer. He's not playing in that position right now, and it's hurting him, and he, drags him off at half time, which, I didn't think he had a good performance in the first half, but I do feel that there's a goal in him somewhere. And I think he's struggling to come to terms with being a winger or a 10. And then the other issue is you stick him in the 10 and you put, Williamson out wide. And to be fair, he's best positioned to 10 as well. So you're moving 2 players around to suit one. So don't get me wrong, Stansfield's a great buy, and I'm not disputing any of that, but I just think it's hurt a couple of our other players, and it doesn't look like Davies is going to change the system, so it could be like that, throughout the year. But as I say, on a positive, the Huddersfield game, we got ourselves a good result, and then another positive this morning, seeing that Paik signed a 5-year deal or 4-year deal, so that's massive for us because he's a top player for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And Chris, I'll come to you, mate. Last Tuesday night, I believe you was in the the sponsors lounge you was in? Is that right? And then you was at the community. Was it the opening of the community centre locally as well before?
Yeah. It was the opening of the new community hub by the foundation. So we got to see all the fantastic work that the foundation are doing, which is it's pretty incredible. I know that Andy, our sponsor, has a lot to do with the foundation. I believe he's put a 6-figure sum into the thing. So yeah, fantastic. Well done, Andy.
Yeah, and you enjoyed obviously was the sponsors lounge good, and obviously since all the refurb, I've not been in there since. I've been in there, but only as for part of a meeting. I haven't actually eaten in there
it's absolutely incredible place, absolutely fantastic, and the food was top notch. Yeah, no complaints from me.
Good stuff. And Claire, talk us through your day on Saturday. Then I know obviously we'll get your thoughts on Huddersfield as well, but let's start with Charlton first because I know you was there as well as always.
Yeah, I just think there was something just a bit weird about the whole day and the whole game, to be honest. The atmosphere wasn't up to how it normally is. It just felt like everything was a little bit off. I don't know why, but I was surprised he didn't make more changes. I'm surprised he kept with the same team, to be honest. Considering I thought Huddersfield, we really did play well, and it was quite a hard-working game as well. Again, we just didn't look like our normal selves. Wayward passing. I mean, we didn't let a goal in within the first 20 minutes, so that was a plus. I think Allsop, I like him as a goalkeeper. I understand the change, but then at the same time, I think he slows it down too much so that they then get back in their banks of what they need to do, and defensively. They literally marked man-to-man throughout the whole game. So I think that stifled us as well. Iwata and Paik didn't really have much to do. I was shocked when Alfie May went off. Personally, I'd put May further up and I'd play Jay in behind. I think the whole Alfie May situation, I think that's something that might hinder us. I do worry about it. I'm not going to lie, because I think the first 4 games he was banging in the goals. Williamson came into the middle and again he played brilliantly. Hansen did have an impact. Dykes at the moment for me, I can't see what he gives that Jukovic doesn't. I think Jukovic is a far better player. I think he wins far more in the air. I think he ruffles them up a little bit. I don't think he has such an impact that Jukovic has had in the past. And I know they're 2 totally different players. But if Dykes is the Yuki replacement, say, I just can't see it at the moment. And I think he needs to work harder when he comes on.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. Sorry, Claire. It was good to see Juki on co-coms as well, wasn't it? On Blues on Tuesday night against Huddersfield. Yeah,
it was great to see him on there. Don't get me wrong, but I'd rather him be on the pitch.
Yeah.
If you got to compare it. I think Charlton, again, I just don't think we would have ever scored. I mean, fair play to them. They executed their game plan perfectly. We just never made anything or created anything. Hopefully Billick's okay, but I could imagine him being out for a while. So I'm hoping for a lot of changes tomorrow, like Leonard and things like that coming back in. I thought Huddersfield had played well. I think the goal was good. I just think that, again, we probably huffed and puffed a lot, which then impacted on Saturday. But if you told me we would have got, was it 4 wins out of these 5 games, I would have snatched your hand off for it. And I know I've said in the last few shows, let's go unbeaten, but you know, we're going to lose at some point, and I'd rather lose now and then win the next few games. And, you know, we've got tough games coming up. Mansfield are now up there, Lincoln are up there, Bolton are up there. So they're all going to be tough games. And the problem is more and more of them are going to know how to play us. So we've got to come up with a plan B. And I think Davies needs to have another plan. He needs to have another formation that he could go to get the best out of these players. But here's what it is, and we move on to tomorrow.
Speaking of which, Claire, I'd like to see him try the Man City formation, the 3-2-4-1. You've got a back 3 of, say, Clara, Bielik if he's fit or when he's fit, and Cochrane as the left-sided centre-back. And then you've got Paik and Iwata, and then you could have, say, Hansen on the left, and then you've got Williamson and Stanfield as 2 10s behind May, and then you put Keshi Anderson on the right, say, or got right, you know. And I think that could work a treat with the personnel that we've got. You know, but whether or not Chris Davies will try that, you know, remains to be seen. But you're right, Claire, he does need a bit of a plan B, doesn't he, as well, if this don't work?
I just think the subs were a bit strange. I totally understand why he did it. He was trying to get pace in, fresh legs on. But I just think that, you know, taking Alfie May off, who's going to get you a goal. Williamson was getting into the game, took him off as well. We were all shocked that he took him off. But I think we weren't really the 12th man either on Saturday. I think the first 20 minutes, half an hour, but the second half, I mean, we didn't have really anything to shout about, but I just don't think the atmosphere was up with the rest of them. But,
no.
You know,
but
see how it goes.
I thought against Huddersfield we looked more assured defensively, didn't we, against Huddersfield, and that's why we kept the clean sheet, Alan. You know, did you watch the Huddersfield game? And I know you was at Charlton, weren't you?
I did, yeah. I think they ran out of steam, to be honest. That was, you know, three games in a week. Asking us to win 3 games was hard. And let's look at it positively. We could have drawn against Huddersfield, and we could have drawn against Charlton. We'd have kept our undefeated record, and we'd have had 1 point less. You know, we got 2 wins and a loss is better than 1 win and 2 draws. So. You know, I sort of take solace in that match, and we're still top of the league, and we've still got a game in hand. Yes, I was surprised. I kind of recognised what he was trying to do, but I think it was buggered up by the fact that we had to take Bielik off, because if we'd have kept him on the field, then the substitutions would have been different. Now, I'm not saying what they would have been, but perhaps Alfie May wouldn't have gone off. we'd have changed somebody else. But yeah, it's water under the bridge now. I think the fact that we had no shots on target in 97 minutes or whatever it was mind-boggling, really. Why did we suddenly? And I can only put it down to tiredness, to be honest. And the fact that we've got a game coming up on the Tuesday night. That's 4 in 10 days. I mean, it'll be a complete shadow squad tomorrow. I mean, there's 6 of them not available anyway, and there's people who need time on the pitch. So but that might be a good thing. We'll get some fresh legs on there, and people like Yokoyama, whose poor bloke's been sitting there twiddling his thumbs for a month. He'll be dying to get on the show what we can do. So, there might be small silver linings in what was a pretty dark cloud on Saturday. And, I've nearly convinced myself of what I've just said. Because it makes it, to me, I hate losing in London. It's just a thing. And that game Saturday reminded me of the QPR game at the end of last year. Exactly, I'm sitting around all the QPR fans who are desperate to win, and I'm getting. I mean, they're not saying it to me; they're just saying it, and you're thinking, "We should shut your gob," right? and it happened Saturday. I was getting all sorts of. I got 4 Spanish blokes behind me. My daughter speaks Spanish. And they was giving us crap, and you're thinking, well, what's going on? As I said, everybody hates us now. Great, we don't care.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing, that is. It's good that we've got a lot of people jealous of us at the moment, who would have believed it, to be honest, but it's a fact now. So, yeah, but Rob, did you watch both games?
No, well, I obviously went to the Huddersfield one. I didn't see much of the Charlton one because I was away the weekend. But I think there's I think picking up from Huddersfield, I think there's a bit of an air of complacency across the whole ground. To be honest, I thought the atmosphere is a bit quiet against Huddersfield. I think it's an air of expectation now, which I think you can sense in all the games now. I feel like Mark said earlier, I feel sorry for Alfie May. We've all said it, but he's an out-and-out goal scorer, and all of a sudden he looks like he's got the world on his shoulders, sort of thing.
Mm.
If you'd have gone back to July, August, and you'd have said we'd be in this position, I think all of us would have bit your hand off. I still think it's a blip. I still think we're the best team in the league. I still think we'll go up.
Yeah.
I think I was more braced for the meltdown on social media, to be honest, Paul, because I think there's just absolute some of the nonsense. It's one game, it's one blip. I still think we'll be fine. I really do. It's interesting what you said about Davis. Well, it's a learning curve for him because I think he needs to maybe have a tinker and have a think about how he's going to change games. But he's a young manager. He's a young manager himself, so he knows more than anyone. I mean, I love his honesty as well.
Mm.
Some of the stuff he's coming out with afterwards. It's been a long time since we've had a manager that honest. So, like I say, back to the drawing board. Tomorrow's a good chance, like we've said, to play a few of the shadow squad. And I want to stay in that competition because it breeds a winning mentality. I think we need to win tomorrow really to stay in it.
Yeah.
And
I think some of the lads that lost the game on Saturday, mate, I think they might want to go out there tomorrow and prove a point. They might be asking me to play.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think you could be right there.
Yeah, I don't think he'll change all the players. He won't change all 11.
Nah, no chance. And to be honest, Paul, I think I'm pretty certain Peacock Farrell will come back in goal. And to be honest, I hope he has a storming game. He keeps a clean sheet. He'll do him the world of good as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I think the best way to respond to this defeat is to beat the record that they had and try and win the next 8 games on the trot. You know what I mean? And that's no better way. Obviously, it's one game at a time. You don't look too far ahead. But
no,
if they can sort of have that as a motivation and try and beat what they've already done, then that would be a good mentality to have, wouldn't it? I think as each game goes by.
Absolutely. I mean, it'll be interesting what team he puts out tomorrow. It's always interesting when you said the others get a chance. So, yeah, I look forward to it.
Yeah. And Craig, what do you think of my idea, mate, about that 3-2-4-1 formation with the personnel we've got? I just think that Williamson and Stansfield behind May could absolutely destroy teams if we played that formation.
Yeah, I think we've got to look at the formation because you're right. It's Alfie May is a shadow of himself. But what I will say was the linkage between him and Stansfield for the goal against Huddersfield was absolutely superb. And they both knew where they both knew the positions they needed to be in, and that goal was really well taken and set up in the first place. To go back on the point that Rode mentioned there, I mean, the social media meltdown was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I read comments of players are not fit to wear the shirt. I read comments of, we told you the manager wasn't good enough. Now look what's happened. For God's sake, we've lost the game to a team that were better than us on the day. They're not, you could argue they're not better than us on paper and everything else, but on the day, during those 97 minutes, they were the better team. They deserved it, and fair play to Charlton. Now, we've got to take that as motivation and say, we're not going to have that happen again. We don't want to be in a position where we're chasing a game and looking as leggy as what we did. But also, as fans, Claire's mentioned it and watching it as I did, you didn't hear the fans like we normally do. And how much of that is down to the fact that, yet again, we go to the capital and it's just a bloody party. It's great to see fans going down the river on a boat and singing as they go underneath a bridge. All right, but Chris Scudder, friend of the show, posted that he'd heard the Blues fans, he'd seen the Blues fans, they were going in the wrong direction. So, we've got to look at it from a point of view of we're there to back the team as well. It's not all about going to a game and getting paralytic. And if people want to do that, so be it. But we've got to back them and be heard. And, all I heard on Saturday was Charlton fans. And that is a first. And I don't want that to happen again. I want to hear us be loud and be proud, continue with the record as we go into our next home game, which is a fair few weeks away now. But, against Bolton, let's have another sellout if we can, or get as close to it as possible. And before it's raised on the message board, no, the game is not being cancelled. Fed up of reading the game's going to be cancelled because the others over at B6 are playing that night. It is not being cancelled. We will play on the 22nd. We will kick off at the normal time. Just be there. Use your voice inside the stadium instead of going across social medias and, causing nonsense.
I think going back to Saturday, mate, one person who does need to learn, who motivated their players with what he said on, I think it was on the radio, wasn't it, Christian Beebe, saying we're too good for League One. Sort of backfired a bit, didn't it? Because that really fired up their players. Apparently the manager, Nathan Jones, had it all over the dressing room and, played.
It was a silly comment, but in all honesty,
he's right.
He's not wrong.
No, he's right.
He's not wrong.
It's a bit naive. It's a bit naive, though, isn't it?
Very. I mean, at the end of the day, we did exactly the same. Let's not forget, first year in the Premier League, a certain individual mouthed off in a very similar way. And it was used again in the dressing room as motivation. When we go to these clubs over the next few weeks, they're all going to be putting it up there. They're all then not giving 100%, they're giving 110, and all of a sudden they can find that little bit extra, and force the mistakes. Saturday was a mistake. It was one mistake, and the one mistake cost us. You never let a ball bounce in your box. Plain and simple. Get rid of it. Doesn't matter what you do, whether it goes out for a corner, whether you're clearing it to the halfway line, you clear your box. And we made the mistake of letting that ball bounce. So there's the first learn to take away from it. As defenders, no matter what you do, clear your lines. And then, look at it, as Alan said there, we could actually have been walking away because without that, yes, they had a couple of chances in the first half, which, God, one of them, how they missed was absolutely beyond me. because the ball went straight across the box. But bar that, there was nothing else. So we could also now be talking about a dull and drab. We didn't play very well, 0-0. But unfortunately, one mistake cost us. And Davies was very honest. I love him for it. I really do like it. And hopefully, when it goes back into the dressing room, it's taken that same way. You know, players did look leggy. They do need a rest. However, let's also look at it. We're only just at the start of the season, so fitness levels are nowhere near where you expect them to be. And Mark Meredith being a coach, you know, over the time of them playing, when would you realistically expect a player to be at full fitness? When, you know, because are we talking November, December time? How and what would we be talking about?
I think it's difficult now because obviously the coaches don't do a lot of the fitness stuff anymore. It's really changed. And as I was saying on the weekend to somebody, I mentioned it to you guys, I was saying this on Facebook as well. It's so difficult when you do play 3 games a week, and it's not really because of, sometimes it's not because of tiredness and stuff like that. It's the fact that your training schedule gets thrown out of the window. So, you know, as a coach, you need those players on the training field. That's where all of your instruction goes. That's where your work goes. You've got to make sure that you're doing that on a daily basis to get ready for whatever the next game is. And you look at it, and if you're playing Saturday, it means you're resting Sunday. You've probably got a light session Monday because you with game prep for Tuesday. Wednesday would be completely off as a rest and recovery day. Thursday's a light session again, and then Friday you're back to game prep and travel to go away for the Saturday game. So you pretty much not had any intense sessions in that whole week, which really catches up with everyone, regardless of people say, you know, they're professionals and they should think. But the fact is, it's their trade, and not having those intense sessions throughout the week with their coach, with their leader, does hurt people.
Mm. Yeah.
Would you then say, Mark, sorry, Paul, would you then say that he needs to change it up a little bit then sometimes? Because to play basically the same team 3 times in a week and not have many changes when you've got a few people on the bench like Samstead, for example, and would you expect more changes to happen?
Yeah, I would have, honestly. I would have expected those changes on Saturday for sure, especially Stansted after what he had played in that half in the Huddersfield game. I thought he was done very well when he came on. So, you know, and again, you know, Peak and Awata have been fantastic, but I'd have put Leonard in there if it was myself, just freshened up that a little bit as well. But, you know, going into the game, we probably didn't feel like we were going to get beat. We were all on a high. We were all ready for another win. We were all ready to watch and have this show on Monday and talk about, you know, we were the best team again, like we have been for the last 5 weeks. So, you know, it's one of those. It's a hit to the system, but I really think now, going into tomorrow's game, there will be a lot of changes. I think that, you know, Bellic's obviously out already. I think that so Davies will come in. I wouldn't be surprised if Clara rests and Sanderson comes in and gets him a game, and Leonard will certainly get a game. So he will change tomorrow, and he's got the problem is then you've got, you know, the Cambridge game's now been postponed. So you've got another 10 days then, which is good for training. But it's also you want to get back into league play as soon as you can so you can bounce back. And I was looking at it with my dad this morning. You go, on the first week of November, it's the first round of the FA Cup. So that's another league game gone. And then on the 16th of November, it's another international, which these internationals are getting crazy right at the start of the season. So that's another game gone. So we haven't rearranged Exeter yet. We've now got Cambridge. We're probably going to have another 2 games coming up in the next 3 or 4 weeks. That's 4 games you're behind, and then it just stacks up. And all these fixtures stacking up is no good for any team.
No, not at all. And Mark, as a coach, again, you know, would you say anything to Christian Bielik after him coming out and saying that? I mean, I don't want to dwell on it, but I think he might just look back on it and regret it, don't you?
Yeah, and I think probably people have had a word with him and just said, you know, you've got to be really careful with what you say because it is used by other clubs in motivation for them. As you said, he's probably not wrong with what he's saying, but as a professional, saying anything to anyone, you have to be really careful. So I'm sure Davis has had a word in his ear. And it did come out today that he basically just, it reposted something he said about, having to be ready for every game as well, because it's not going to be easy. So I think they've tried to change it a little bit now and say that, at the end of the day, we are the big fish in the small pond, so to speak. And people don't need that motivation to beat us. They've already got that. They don't need then the big-headedness of our captain saying that, we're too good for them. So, yeah, he'll learn from that. And, again, he'll be smarter with his conversations and have those conversations around the training ground, because I think it breeds confidence in everybody. But just be very careful on where you share them.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody can say something live on air, can't they, and think, I probably shouldn't have said that straight after they said it. You know what I mean? Can't they, Road?
As I said, the chairman does that.
Let's not forget though. I mean, there's two other factors and positives to take away from the weekend. I mean, the first one is possession figures. I know we didn't get too far forward, but possession figures are still up there. So we held the ball up when we actually had it. Passing numbers were again well up. And the other thing is the fact that we were hit with a team that actually had quite a bit of pace. I mean, Carno stood out a mile for me for Charlton in terms of the way that he was. But their right back, wow, he was on it that day. He was arguably the player of the game. And if he didn't get that nomination, then there's something wrong there. But
absolutely,
we still held up to them, and we could still compete even when we'd made numerous changes. And the other thing is that I've put it on a message board already, but please, people, go on to the PFA Twitter account if you have Twitter or other sources. We have 2 players up for the PFA Player of the Month award in Jay Stansfield, and we also have a Water. We need to get behind these boys and give them as much support as we possibly can. It's dead easy to go on and vote. You literally just go onto the link and then click on the voting button and enter your details. The more support we can get to this, the better, because it's deserved. But I mean, also just going back to last week in Huddersfield, again, that was another team that for me set the stall out from the beginning, which was we don't want to be beat. And actually Charlton did that. Charlton was set up not to be beat. The difference was we had that extra bit of class, and we came out the second half at home and we were well on top of things, and they couldn't cope. Whereas Charlton got their lucky break, and then we had to go chasing. But we had nothing at all going forwards. I would swap it up a lot for tomorrow. But what I would say is don't take much notice of tomorrow's game for the next league game, because it's going to be totally the opposite again. And Lincoln away is no easy game at all. They're doing well. They're up there in the league. In fact, the top half's really close. But
we're still top. Just remember, we're still top. We still got game in hand.
We're still the best team, aren't we?
There we go.
Oh yeah. This is not all a doom and gloom show by any means. Don't get me wrong.
Sorry, Alan, carry on.
I say I was still on schedule to finish up with 113 points. So it's not panic status just yet.
Yeah, there was a stat actually on Saturday. So everybody's going into panic mode, right? But look at the teams that have been promoted out of the league that have got in and around or over the 100-point mark. So at the same point in time, Wolves had exactly the same amount of points as what Birmingham had and went on to top and actually hold that record at the moment for the points and goals scored. Sunderland, exactly the same. They were on 22 points at this point in time. So we're not behind any sort of curve. We've lost the game. Let's be realistic. I don't think there's one of us on here that honestly thought we were going to go all season without losing a game. So we've lost one. Now, start that streak, like you say, Paul. Let's get back into the positives and let's continue the run and get back into the swing of getting results. Let's see more of the Stansfield and Alfie May situation. I think that will gel over time. We'll see more of them playing together. And yeah, Dykes. he's got to prove it, hasn't he? You know, that's all we can say. He's got to come out and prove to us what he can do, and if not, then Juki deserves his chance. So onwards we progress, but also congratulations to Jay Stansfield on the under-21s call-up.
Yeah.
You know, it's another positive to take away, and it's great that we've got yet another international player. And to go back on that first comment, Pake on his 4-year extension. Yeah. That's a phenomenal piece of business by the club. That is
incredible.
You know, that's a proper statement of intent, and hopefully, you know, a few more to come over the next few weeks.
Yeah.
Can I just say about Pate? I watched his interview today, talking about his new contract, and he was asked, you know.
Oh, what was he asked? Did you forget?
That could be the new competition for this week.
Oh,
he's back.
There he is.
Are you froze, Al?
Oh, did I? Sorry.
Yeah.
What was he asked?
What was he asked, Al?
Go on, tell us.
Internet connection is unstable, it's saying.
Right.
He used the word humble. We must be humble, he said. And every other interview that's gone on before Belix on Saturday, the manager, the players, we must keep our feet on the ground, be humble, and get on with the business. And I'm sure he was told today, use that word. You know, don't say, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to piss this league. No, he was very modest. And I'm thinking that it has, Belix's comment has registered in Chris Davis's mind, if nobody else's, and people have been told, you know, let's not go overboard here. Let's just stay humble and do your job, and it'll all work out. Yeah. And he was very, very, very modest. You know, yes, I've been called up to the internationals and the usual. It's nice and blah 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 blah. But no, yeah, it was no bragging or anything. A very, very modest young man.
Yeah, no, it's important that you get too high with the highs and too low with the lows, isn't it?
That's right.
I think I think just on that, Paul, that's what I was just about to say there. We have to stay positive. We mentioned it in the show already. We're top of the league. We got a game in hand. We know our squad is good enough to compete in this league and you know, good enough to win the league for sure. You know, it's not going to be the only defeat of the season. I think we'll get more, but what I do believe is there'll be a lot more wins than there is losses. And you know, the thing about this league is that there is so many games with the FA Cup and the Carling, well, the League Cup and the Bristol Street Motors and all that sort of stuff that goes into it. What we do have is we have a squad capable and big enough to be able to make those changes over the, you know, Christmas period and stuff like that to really grab the results when we need to grab them, and then continue in the top half of the table. And for me, first or second this year is what we want, regardless. Obviously, we want to win the championship, but I'll take second as well. And as long as we get out of the league and we move back up again next year. So we've all got to stay positive. And I think it was just like we said, like Robe said, and I don't agree with him much ever, but it was a blip, and we move forward with it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Just a quick one, Paul. I'm just looking at Sky Sports News, and it's just got about Bailey Peacock Farrell. He's out for Northern Ireland with a shoulder injury for this game coming up.
Okay.
All right.
So maybe there's something in that as well.
Okay. Maybe well, he won't be playing tomorrow then, will he?
No. And do you know what? It could be really worse, couldn't it? We could be a Wolves fan. So that's what I'm saying about them. But let's move on. Some more positives for the ladies. The weekend back to winning ways. So a great performance at St Andrews in the horrible weather. But goal from captain for the day and also friend of the show in Louise Quinn. So it's a great far post header in the first half, and then the second half, our very own Christy Murray Harrison, who actually celebrated her 100th appearance for the club and went on to score a great diving header off a fantastic Ellie Mason cross in the second half, and up against a team, actually, you know, Blackburn were a pretty decent outfit, to be honest. We broke them down well, knocked the ball around when we had the opportunities, but also had to defend well at times from quite a pacey attacking force that they had. But again, as well, another great turnout at St Andrews. More and more families beginning to see there. And this time around, Claire, I know you've mentioned it in the past, but the tickets for the schools, you know, there was a great bunch of kids from local schools down there, and that all comes and links very closely with the continued work, as Chris mentioned, of the foundation and what they're looking to build. So again, a bit of a break now. I think it's near enough a month actually until we see another game at St Andrews for the ladies. But that gives an opportunity for us to build with the away games. Then there's an international break. And then it's time to start seeing some more faces and some more people down at St Andrews on that Sunday afternoon. You know, it's a great day out. £2 for a kid, £8 for an adult. You know, we can quite easily get a couple of thousand down there, as you imagine, with people supporting. And just love to see some more faces and it continue to grow. Other thing is that, you know, the way that Amy is with the team, right? So we talk about Chris Davies being grounded and you know, really down to earth with his comments and his interviews, but Amy's very much the same. So I think it's a mentality that's running through the club. It's something that we're seeing more and more of. And actually, I think, you know, again, Mr. Meredith, this might be a bit of the American side of sport beginning to kick in with the club. Because one for you here. I was there for a ground tour with Solihull SC last Thursday. And the one thing we heard was how they have changed some of the terminology that they use both on and off the pitch. So they're no longer called substitutes at the club. Well, if you're aware of this, they're actually now called game changers.
Oh my life!
What?
And yeah, they're called game changers because the idea is that they are going on the pitch to do just that. And the reason that
can't call Lyndon Dykes that, can you?
It changes something.
It's all to do with the positivity and the mental attitude that goes alongside that, because it's so true when you think about it. Somebody says to you, you're going on as a substitute for the last 20 minutes, and that's part of your pep talk before you're going on the pitch. Or you hear, you know what, you're going on for 20 minutes, you're going to be the game changer. It automatically changes the way that you feel. And there is so much of that going on in the club at the moment and behind the scene that we don't know about. But it just gets a totally different feel. I mean, Mark, I saw you nodding when I said that. Is that generally what's used out in the States, game changer?
Yeah, it is. Especially with the youth players than anything. I think it's just like you say, it's a positive outcome and a positive spin on not starting. You know, for those. So we use it with the younger players. I've never really been involved at the higher level here in MLS, but certainly with the younger players, we use that because again, it is a positive spin on it, and I feel like, you know, everything is positive. In what they're trying to do here in sport. So yeah, maybe it is something from America, but I don't know. If you're in a professional game, then for me, then, you know, you're a substitute. And then if you go on and change the game, great. But I don't think you have to call them different names for a professional organization like that, really.
No.
And, you know, we've had Nigel Manor said, can we have some game changes on the show, please? And I've agreed, and we just said we're just going to get rid of Road.
Yeah, I'm just making notes.
That's enough of a game change for us.
Any other comments on the shout box, Chris?
On YouTube, or I'll go back a bit.
Yeah, do a bit of both, mate.
Okay, go back to YouTube. Evening, guys. Watching from a red hot Barbados. I hate him already. Wow. 5 hours behind. Blues were poor on Saturday. Slow build up and missing passing through the middle. We were lucky it wasn't more. Yeah. Bad day at the office. I'm sorry, but we need to get the forward balance right. Williamson is not a wide man. May has to play down the middle. He's the only one who can hit 30 goals, and Keisha's end product is awful. David said at the beginning of the season that anyone who thinks it will be easy does not understand football. Too many people think it's a walk in the park. Those are the highlights on YouTube at the moment.
Excellent. And we've got a couple of fun things lined up as well, haven't we, Chris? Again, like we always do.
Yeah.
We've got a Who lined up, and those that watched last week will know that we did a new thing with shirts where we're showing basically the shirt without the sponsor and the manufacturer, and we want everyone to tell us who the sponsor was and who the manufacturer was of each blue sock. Have we got two this week, Chris, or just one?
No, sorry, I've just got the one. Yeah, got the one.
Okay. Should we do that first?
Do it first if you like. Yeah.
And let's do that first. We need a name for it, don't we?
Yeah. What's the
Whose
shirt?
shirt is it anyway? There you go.
Go on, mate. We say
Call it, whose shirt is it anyway?
Whose shirt is it anyway?
That's a good one.
I was going to say, let's get shirty.
Oh, I'll tell you what, let's open it up to the audience. So what can we call this?
Good one, yeah. See what people think.
New game. Do you want to have a look at it now? I'm going to do this quick. I think it's quite a hard one myself, but Paul will probably get it straight away. But here we go. Have a quick look. I'm going to give it.
Let's let our audience
The audience.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it up for 10 seconds. If nobody gets it by 7:30, I'm going to claim it as a win. Here we go. That's a lot. Anybody on our panel?
Oh, I love that shirt.
Yeah, I know.
I love that shirt.
Yeah.
Boy, yeah, I know that one.
We want to know who the sponsor was of that shirt and who the manufacturer is as well, or was.
I can't see it.
I never saw it either.
I'll put it back again. Here we go.
Still nothing.
Don Kavanagh shirt on the Villa.
Good one.
I think we've already had a winner.
We have.
Yes.
Taylor's won.
Yeah, well done, Pete Taylor. Okay, that's taking long, isn't it?
And for an extra point, what season was it? What season was it?
Yeah.
What was the season?
I can't remember.
I love how people are spelling.
Actually, it's not Zapago.
Is that right on the chat, Paul?
It's not Zapago.
It's not Zapago.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
It's gonna be straight away.
Oliver, yeah.
Is that the year that I put on the chat?
I can't see what you put on the chat.
Oh, hang on, Lee Mailing's got it there, hasn't he? Yeah.
On the meeting chat, I mean, not on the normal chat.
Oh, Pete Taylor did get it wrong. I didn't see his comments earlier. Yeah, there we go.
I said what season it was.
I can't remember. I
think I know.
Is it early? Was it early 2000?
Yeah, I think it's that Meredith.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Have a look what you said. Let's have a look. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the season Gary Rowett took over, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
It is a nice shirt, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the home.
I want to know why. I want to know the guy that's putting the shirt on, though. He doesn't even know who the sponsor was. And he took the sponsor off.
I did, yeah. and then I had to colour the shirt in all over to make it all look even. Oh, clever, ain't I?
You know, I want everyone to tell us who it is, Chris. I didn't mean like you've got to guess as well. Someone's got to know.
Not that clever.
Okay, and then we've got a who as well, haven't we, lined up?
We have got a who. Again, I'm going to do this quite quickly because, again, I thought this is really hard, but everybody's going to get it straight away. Are we all ready?
Yeah, former guest.
Yeah, former guests. Yeah, all former guests, these are. Here we go.
Football Academy, education based in.
Oh, that's an easy one, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Sounded like you, that did, Mark Meredith.
I was going to say, it sounded like Meredith.
That was me.
I couldn't even hear it.
You do it again?
Okay, here we go. It might still be on. Hang on. Here we go.
Football Academy, education based in.
Yeah.
I know who that is.
I know that is.
Okay, well, let's see if anybody on the shout box gets it.
Oh, yeah, I know that is.
Nobody on YouTube has got it yet. And Trevor John Smith has got it straight off. Well done, Trevor.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a guy. What a man he is, Martin O'Connor. Absolutely brilliant. We're both to talk to as well.
So, am I going to have to make these harder?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. I mean, we might have to branch out outside of our guests. Whatever we can find of anyone talking, really.
No,
that's playful.
I've got an idea. How about if I reverse the audio?
That'd be interesting.
That'd be a good one.
Well, your 2 games lasted 55 seconds. So I'd go
That's scoring board, don't we, Mark?
Right then, okay. Challenge accepted. I'm going to make it so difficult. No one is going to get any of them next week. There you go.
If you played it backwards, it could be a decoded message. Like we play records backwards and then sync the message.
Yeah.
Only in your world, Mr. Adams. Only in your world. That's how you secretly sell all your stolen goods, isn't it?
It is an interesting one. What's everyone's favourite memory of Martin O'Connor? What would be your best? What would be his best Blues moment? Do you think if you had to pick like just one?
The Man City goal in the 98th minute or whatever it was.
Yeah. The same Man City.
Yeah, I love the way he carried on playing in the cup final against Liverpool.
Yeah, but he could barely run.
Yeah.
He was about 15 yards from where I was standing, and he didn't look like he was ever going to come back. I was going, get up, come on, get up, get on your feet, stand up. And the fact that he finished, I mean, that was in extra time, and he played the next half hour on one leg, and he was still as good as he'd been all through the game. But I remember looking at him thinking, he ain't, I think we used all our subs as well by then.
We had no choice, we had to keep him on.
Please get up, stick something in him, make him get up. And when he trotted away, you thought, thank you for that. Please.
Governor said exactly the same as us, his Man City goal. I think the one thing about Skip is he's still got that passion for the club, obviously still working for them as well, but he's not afraid to say it as it was. And I think, as a captain, the one thing you could always take away from him was he'd be there to put his arm around the youngsters and support them. Hence, I think, really the role that he's doing now with the loans.
Yeah.
But also, he would not be afraid to stick a rocket up somebody's arse if they needed it, and that's what I loved about him. A lot of people used to call him backwards Bill because you rarely saw him passing the ball forwards, but it didn't matter because he was still in control and he was he's the type of player and captain that you want to see at any club, let alone just ours. But he was and he's a true gent.
He did get quite a few goals for us, though. He did get quite a few assists as well. Yeah.
Did they?
What a good one away at Bolton, I remember, at the Reebok.
Yeah.
I was at that one.
Yeah.
Friday night game, yeah.
Great servant to the club and a great captain and a great bloke as well, yeah. So I'm glad you chose him tonight, Chris. Give us a good subject to talk about for a few more minutes.
Well, that's what I thought.
The game didn't take.
I thought the game's
show that lasted 50 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
That might kind of longer than the game took.
Okay.
Two games, not one.
Yeah. Claire, can you remember Martin O'Connor? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I was there at Liverpool.
Yeah.
How old are you?
Yeah, cried all the way home.
31.
No one's ever asked her her age.
No.
No one's
33 now.
How old are you, Claire?
33 now.
3 years ago, didn't you? It's almost 3 years ago you were 31. I know
2 years ago, I'm only 33.
Oh, yeah? Oh.
She's the babe.
Don't have age on to me.
Chris, are we on international break next week, or are we in?
Well, yes, probably. We'll probably have a break next week.
You look disappointed, Mark.
That's a quick one. That answer was quicker than the game.
Come over here. Come over here.
Come over and you let me out. You let me. No, actually,
I'll go with the flow. Actually, if you want to do
racing anyway, so
if you want to do a show, let me know. I'll do it.
It's a jinx you coming over here, mate. The Blues gets called off. The Tilton Talk Show gets called off. What's going to be the thing?
Stop the flight's not cancelled.
Oh no!
Oh yeah.
Going back to Tuesday night, by the way, now that we're getting into the dark nights, how many people love the light show? Because I thought they've got it with the music, it got down to a fine art now.
Oh, that's crazy.
It was absolutely wicked, and it was just set up beautifully, and it does definitely generates an atmosphere and things to look out for. And people were just. They were upset they didn't see fireworks in the dark, but come on, it was bloody raining, so what do you expect?
Yes, I know, yeah.
But no, I mean that's another takeaway from the ground tour is the amount of work that's been done, and he's still continuing inside that stadium because it's their plans for the end of the season are phenomenal. Who knows what they're going to do, and all this is still continuing whilst we're talking about a brand new stadium and all these different things going on. So it's a proper good time for our club, and with despite everything that's going on, you still got to look at the huge amounts of positives to take away from it all.
Just on that, Craig, we're doing a stadium tour next Monday with family. So Paul Delph sorted that one out for us. So I was thankful for that. So I'm actually excited to go and see it. Especially it's going to be over 10 years since I've stepped foot in the ground. So it'll be a totally different experience, I think, from when I when I used to do the stadium tours myself and seen on CBeebies once. It's something different to look at now. But I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see what the difference is, and just going to the club shop and all that sort of stuff. So yeah,
I've got to say the work they've done inside the stadium, especially like the Garrison. Wow, that is something special. It is. And I know it's linked into the theme of Peaky Blinders, but it really is like walking into an old school pub, the way that they've set it up, the memorabilia that they have from the actual TV programmes and things like that. Yeah, no, we're not, that's why you're not allowed on ground tours, Adams, because we know you'll steal it. But it's just brilliant the way that they've done all of the work, and then you also go into the chairman's area and own a game. What a difference that is. To be out, and the Garrison obviously was the old Jasper Carrot Suite, so it's obviously all been rebranded and built up. And I think just what we're seeing, and what is still to come. The foundation launch last week was a major stepping stone for our club, not only for what they're doing inside, but what they're doing for the community, and the fact that hub is going to be available to support people with, all the issues. There's somebody there to always listen. It's perfect in a school positioning to help out with the local areas, and all the people that are also going through educational side of things with the foundation as well. It's unreal, and anybody can apply for grants with the foundation, and you can support them as well by just going onto the app, and you can donate towards, the different things that go on. The OSCs, we mentioned it last week, but £3 of every single membership goes back into the foundation, so everybody is supporting from that front. And I think the local MPs and councillors were there as well to really just put the force and support behind what we're doing outside of the footballing arena. Again, it's just something we could only have dreamed about a couple of years ago, and just thinking to ourselves what a difference this is making to the local community. And actually, that's the last thing I would say about this. Right, they've also helped with getting families down to the ladies' game. Yeah. And what a diverse set of fans were there on Sunday. We had schools, various religions, castes, you name it. They were all inside the ground, and everybody enjoyed it. And the difference is, you then hear people, I want to come back. Really enjoyed that. Let's do it again. So the club are doing the right things on and off the field. We know that they listen, right? Your feedback is key, not only through us, but through the various OSC groups, use them, put it forward. Let's get the messages out there. And hey, thank you to our friend Lee Mailing, who keeps us posted on what to expect at the various games. And we will be putting some details up. But what we can say well in advance is at the next home game, in the main stand, you're going to see Garius and Coffee. You're going to see Titanic, Hungry Penguin Pancakes, and Naughty Bites. In the Cop, it'll be Flying Cows, the Currywurst, Love Greek Company, and the Quirky Indian. In the Tilton, we've got the Donut Society, Poutine Punks, and Chatty Patty. The Changing Room has the Buff. The Gil Merrick has Disco Fries. And they're all the vendors, the street food vendors that will be there for the Bolton game. And let's also not forget the service you get from inside the ground now. It's 1,000 times better.
Who saw the picture of that tiger bread, that full tiger bread that was hollowed out with full of pork?
Come back.
While we're on that subject, though, it's getting colder out there. And inevitably it's going to start raining more, and it's going to be like, freezing minus something very soon. And I hope that they can keep this up and have the same amount of people out there on the car park before the game when the weather's like that. And the only way they're going to do that is obviously by giving us some sort of shelter and, dare I say, heating as well. Some sort of heaters up or something, I don't know.
Saying that, there was a bit around Tuesday.
Talked about.
Is it, Claire, yeah?
Excellent.
Yeah, it's one of my top agendas that I bring up.
Okay.
How are we going to? But I know the one in the main stand car park will have a roof. But it is something that I have said. I mean, I'm not going to lie. The other day it was raining and there was still loads of people there. Weren't there, Craig? There was loads of them. So, I think that it is something they need to talk about and think about. But it will be raised, I think, the next meeting that we have.
Wait till it gets colder. That's the thing, isn't it? That's when.
Yeah, I would have some marquees, and by the time you've got everyone in there, it'll be warm enough anyway.
Yeah.
So to me, I think they will think about it because the amount of people that go.
Yeah.
Luckily, recently we've had really good weather, so it's been brilliant. But yeah. It's something that we are talking about.
And I think the fan park being open is going to make a difference as well, because a lot of the people that are in the COP at the moment are there because they haven't got the other fan park to go to. But as soon as that opens, you're going to see a natural swap, I think, of where people go. The Globe and Ball will officially become an official supporters club bar. So, that's going to also mean that there's people having the ability to get inside and get out of the bad weather. But like Claire said, having a roof around the other side is just going to make such a difference. And yeah, hopefully we can see a few more things cropping up over the next few months in regards to it. There's no better window than at the moment when we've got a big gap between games.
No, absolutely. That'll be interesting anyway. And is that amphitheatre as well? Is that now as well? Is that all done? Is that everything we're going to see there?
I think so.
Think there'll be any more coming to that?
I think so. It's a lot different to how I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that's why I asked really.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. Don't get me wrong, Claire. I'm impressed with it. It does look great.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be more towards the shop, but obviously they've slightly tweaked it. I haven't heard anything like that, but I know that there'll be more inside the ground. So, with get in there and get free T-shirts. I knew there was something on social media where someone was going around saying whose name's on the back of the shirt. If you guessed, you get the free shirt.
Oh,
It's going to be a lot more if you're in your seat, you're going to get more things. It's going to be more of the American kind of influence. But yeah, there's going to be more if you do this, then you can get this. So.
Yeah.
So, we're going to have T-shirt buns and everything else then, Claire. Is there a plan to start shooting T-shirts into the audience?
We have suggested it. It's something that I would think it would be great. But again, it's a work in progress. As you said, they do listen to everybody and then they take from there what's going to happen. I mean, I suggested that the food and that gets brought out early. It's being brought out early, so you can arrange it and things like that. And some of the other ideas from the others in the group are brilliant as well. A lot of them go to NFL games, and we're kind of using that as a basis of how do you make people happy to go. So, but I definitely agree with you, Craig. I think, you know, especially at the top of the Tilton, trying to get a drink used to be literally 10 deep, 20 deep. Now you can just kind of walk to the front and it's great. So it's definitely changed.
And that idea of, you know, shooting really heavy balls at road, has that one been taken forwards as well?
Oh, no,
yeah, that
been
was my idea.
There's been a queue, actually.
Yeah, like full, like really hard, but like
leather
football, bang.
I don't like the way this club is going.
I reckon we could charge a tenner a go and make loads of money for charity on that as well. You know?
Oh, it's for charity. I don't mind. I don't mind if it's for charity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind. I'm only joking. I don't mind.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll ever have Kiss Cam on the big screens?
That's going to happen. It's got to happen, isn't it?
Claire sits next to Courtney, so that'll be fun.
That'll be tongue cam, that.
There's a few people will be fine. Maybe my mum, let's not be doing bias.
She's more worried about the people that stand next to her than me, mate. Trust me.
No comment.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, you know, tomorrow night now onto tomorrow night, then we think about tomorrow night and hopefully go there and get the result that we need to, you know, towards the steps of progressing.
How funny is it that we're having a home game away from home, because that's what it's going to be like tomorrow. I mean, as I understand it, they've sold less than 1,000 tickets, Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
But we've got 3,500 going. It's just mental. It does beg that question, though. Why, if they knew they weren't going to sell that many tickets, why didn't they sell us more? Because I think we could have carried on going.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if there were Blues fans in the Shrewsbury end as well.
Jason Hughes isn't a big lover of Kiss Cam, I don't think, but we don't have to go full bloody USA. I hope not.
Yeah.
What I'd say to that is it depends who sat next to me.
Exactly, yeah.
Absolutely. Now, to be fair, though, it's something that you certainly don't want to have at, you know, in that thing. It's tough to deal with at NFL games and different things. You know, I like the fact that the only thing I do like is that they bring beer to your seats and stuff. You know, they don't have that obviously in England. You have to drink at certain points of the stadium. But I think the only positive there is that you can order your drinks on your phone, and in 2 minutes they're bringing them down to your seats, which would be I think we'd end up with about
actually
1,000 bottles of fuel.
To provide a bit of clarity on that was asked very early doors. Why can't we have drinks at seats? It's actually an FA rule that prevents it from happening. So it's nothing to do with the fact that the club don't want to sell and have drinks at the seats. It's actually to do with the FA. And I think something that's being looked at, because, you know, you go over to Germany and, you know, you've got drinks galore coming to your seats and everything else, and everybody's there. And you never see the animosity or trouble between fans, because everybody's in that same sort of jovial spirit.
Was that a pun?
That's the reason why they don't do it. And Mark, you know, in the States, I think they do the other thing, don't they? It's like walking around with all the food and everything else. They still do that, which is something that perhaps could take.
You know
off.
what? The funny thing is, like, when I was in college, I used to work as one of those guys at Blues. You know, they used to remember the blue boxes, pies and the burgers, and I used to do that on Saturday. And yeah, they still do that here. They still do a lot. A lot of it's gone away with people just walking around, though. It's a lot of it now is mobile apps. So you'll get to your seat, scan the QR code, and then you can basically order on your app, and then they bring it to your seat. So it's already paid for the tips and everything.
Alan, you'll remember. Alan, you'll remember the Tilton man, won't you? Who used to go around the outside of the pitch, and everybody ran down to get the Bovril.
I also witnessed one of the poor buggers falling over, and
ouch.
Yeah, tub of tea on his back, and he was lying on his back, with the T-N underneath him. And I got him up, and it didn't last much longer after that. The T-N started having places where you could go and buy stuff. But yeah, I've been to American sporting events and had people bring stuff to me. But funny enough, the guys with the beer, they also had a trunk on the back, and literally made it draft on the move, and they'd pass it down the line, and you passed. It was always $4 for a drink, so you got $5 and you pass it down, and he pretend to get his change, and then you just like, no, keep the change. So you basically always paid $5 for your drink, and the bloke kept $1 for himself.
That's a good idea.
But yeah, I mean, I've also sat and watched Americans pig themselves out for 3 hours. They just don't stop eating. They'll bring plates of pizza, then bring chips, and then hot dogs and burgers, and you're thinking, I did go to one game where the guy had a half 56-pound bag of peanuts, and he ate them all.
Wow.
The whole game, baseball for about 3 hours, and he sat there and he ate a lot. Yeah. And there was piles of monkey nut shells up to his ankles, right? Wow. And he never offered them round.
There you go, Meredith.
Yeah,
there's your challenge, mate.
I don't like peanuts, but they do for the MLS. They sell all you can eat match tickets. So you basically get all your food and your drink included in your match ticket. Wow. They have them at a little bar you go to with a wristband, and you can basically just help yourself to everything.
If we had it down the Blues, you'd have to call it Deliver Blue, wouldn't you? Instead of Deliveroo.
Deliver Blue.
Yeah.
Deliver Blue.
Imagine
I'll tell you what.
The problem is though, the beer wouldn't make it down the line at the Blues.
No.
Yeah.
It wouldn't last.
There'll be peony on the way down.
The one thing I'm thinking is they'll be in the road as well. They'll be in your way when you're watching the game. Well, someone will be in front of you. Guaranteed that you'll be on the attack or something, and someone will be bringing a drink for somebody.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea, honestly. And I'm the one that experiences American sports, pretty much every week. I don't think it's something that you want to bring into English football, honestly.
No. Speaking of which, go on, Craig.
Say, sorry, I should. Jason Hughes, we're not playing word association. I'm sorry. It's very, very funny in way to Pandiani, but we're definitely not doing word association.
Should do it.
I like Nigel Manns as well, Bloober.
Bloober,
yeah.
Bloober Eats.
This is a slippery slope, hasn't it?
Yeah. This is, It's
on the way.
We've moved on at the club. As a podcast.
But talking of getting in people's way, do we know if the fans just in front of me have got anywhere with the club with regards to that sort of big post has been put right in front of them?
It's gone through all the OSC, and I've heard they're sorting it.
Oh, good. That's good to know. Because
I can't tell you what. Everyone seems to have tagged me, and I was like, I've got no idea what to do. Yeah. So I just passed it on to Suck, and so hopefully it can be sorted.
Yeah.
Pete Taylor's winning with Deliver Who?
Deliver Who?
Yeah, I like it.
Oh dear. Yeah. Pizza one love.
With this word association game, it's actually quite good, really, isn't it?
It's just me, and Deliver Blue instead of Deliveroo, and yeah. What have I started?
Michael Woods has said Dealey had a bowl of nuts and 2 glasses of beer at the last game.
He always gets Dealey with these.
Yeah. Fits into everyone.
Yeah.
There we go. So it started. Food Subway. No.
Can I give a game changer way?
I just want to give a shameless plug as well to our actor friend. I forgot his name. Tim Faraday.
Tim Faraday.
Oh, no, yeah. Massive friend. Know him well. Yeah, Tim Faraday, a big blues fan. He's producing a film next year, I do believe. I think Paul Devlin and Jeff Horsfield have got a couple of cameos in it, as well as a well-known Tilton Talk presenter.
That's got to be in a pub, Chris. They're in the pub.
I don't know. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So round out the side collecting the change.
Tim sent me the score yesterday, the song that's associated with the film. I'll just play a few minutes of it. It is pretty good. I don't know whether it's him singing it, but it sounds pretty good anyway. I'll give it a couple of bars of it and see what you think. Anyway, here we go. I'll tell you what it's about after.
I'm a master in a world of fun. A man at the cutting edge for some. I'm often misconstrued and sometimes dumb, but one thing's for sure, I'm alone in a world of bitter melodies and rum.
It's pretty nicely produced, that is, isn't it?
That's Ed Sheeran. Who is it singing?
You know what? I don't know. I'm not sure if it is Tim himself. If it is, I'm highly impressed. I'm highly impressed. Anyway, the film's about a time-travelling ambulance. I think that's what he said to me.
Ah,
So
right.
And that song was supposed to go with it.
Yeah. I think it's quite a sad. It's a sad film. It's a very sad film.
But say music to slit your throat, boy.
Not need an ambulance.
I'm guessing you don't like it then, Al.
Well, I didn't say it wasn't good. It's a kind of, and you're either into that, but people think, oh, so melancholy, shall we say? It's
it's melancholy. Yeah.
Music depends what mood you're in, doesn't it? What sort of what you listen to. It's all about the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Talking of songs, sorry, Claire, Pagan Iwata. It's your song 2 minutes now.
Oh no, hold on. Can I think about? I can't remember what it was.
Oh, man, you only got one.
Take any water. What?
Yeah.
One
Told
job.
us Saturday there was a song, but she had one job and she's forgot it already.
No, you never told me. You didn't remind me. It was in my head earlier. I sang it and I was like, yeah, I remember that.
She missed rehearsal.
Yeah.
Do we reckon
Anyone went to the Charlton game, put it on.
I was gonna, talk about music and stuff. Do you reckon we will get a concert next year at Blues?
Don't know.
It'd be nice thought, wouldn't it?
Something's got to happen for the 150th. You know, the one thing I can say, Mark, I have asked whether a certain Jeff Lynn will be doing anything, and the answer was a flat no.
Bloody
I
hell.
remember it now.
Yeah, it's
Here we
going to
go.
go.
Here we
The
go.
magic, Iwata and Peg sung ho.
Can you repeat that? We didn't quite catch it.
No.
Chris, can you put that song back on for a little bit?
As you got to the end, the tone dropped away, but we've just recorded that. We're going to send it off for X Factor.
That's right.
We'll get Simon's opinion.
Might be on a film next year.
Over the years we've been all going, and this goes out to our viewers as well. What are our favourite ever, apart from the obvious Keep Right On and all the other obvious ones? What are the sort of best left field chants you think?
I've got my two favourite.
Go on, Claire.
My two favourite are We Are Brummies. Yeah, you know that one.
Yeah.
And the Stephen Carr.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's
By a mile, they're my favourite too.
yeah.
The one for me, I still stick. I love it, but I'd rather be a sausage than an egg because it has nothing to do with football, but everybody loves it.
Yeah. Does anyone remember the Dealey Adebola version of Macarena?
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to like that. And what was the other ones as well?
Nigel Man said, "Please, Claire, don't sing again. Bring back the ambulance music."
I like the Heskey one as well. The Heskey one when he came good and he used to be.
He used to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
What I was going to say, Paul, the Cardiff dance because it was just so random.
That was brilliant.
And even now, it just cracks me up.
Yeah. Wait, what about you? Do you ever sing Al at the Blues, or have you ever been involved in any chants? No.
As a kid, I did. I'm too concentrated on what's going on the pitch. I'll tell you that I will tell you one of my favourite chants. It's Well, it was Feed the Horse first, and then it was Feed the Force.
Yeah.
That was good. And I do remember, I tell you what sticks in my mind, the second leg of the semi-final of the Leyland Daff at Orient, right? And I never heard it anywhere else, but they all sang "Thank You, David Sullivan" when we at the end of the game and we got to the final. And I never heard it. I never heard his song before that, or never heard his song since. But it was brilliant on the night.
Yeah, good, great. What about you, Meredith? You must have some bangers that you've heard and come up with yourself.
Oh. They put me on the spot now. I don't think.
I know how I feel.
I don't think. I used to just listen to Badger all the time. You remember Badger was around when you? So he had a load, didn't he? Didn't he go on?
He went on YouTube.
What's it called? Didn't he? Not The Voice, the other one.
Britain's Got Talent. Yeah.
With a song about lasagna.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to it, like just silly songs like that. I think I just Keep Right On's obviously the always the best one at the ground, but just silly ones after that. I just do love hearing the different player ones now though. That they it makes who goes home and thinks of them all and then brings them back. Yeah. Does anybody know that? Is there a couple of people that actually think of all the songs, or does it come from different groups?
Yeah, Robbie Savage.
Loads of different, I think. The message board, they're loving this ball on the message board, by the way. You've got, so some of them on there. Pete Taylor, one of his favourites was Sit Down Pinocchio, Stand Up Steve Brucio.
Oh, yeah.
Which was a favourite against Liverpool. The Jason Hughes has also said that we don't need another hero. We've got Paul Pescasolido.
Yeah.
Let's all have a disco, Warren was starting has said. And Barry Horn, one of Trevor's men, Barry Horn, where's number 10? Michael Woods is one he said there. Adebola from Trevor Malloy, doing the Cardiff dance, Dave Twine.
Yeah, Cardiff dance.
Oh,
hockey.
Oi.
The Robbie Savage Son song. Yeah. Don Kavanagh.
He sang that to Craig when he come on. He sang that to us. Do you remember?
He did indeed. Marlon King's song as well. People love.
Yeah. And they come to Birmingham. Come to Birmingham, and you will see Ansellsbury, M&B.
Yeah, it made me laugh. Yeah. The first time we played Man United in my life at home, and we were all singing Cockney, Get Out of Brum.
Yeah.
You know what? I always like the we don't care about Carson. I always thought why don't we adapt? Why can't that be adapted? Like we don't care.
Somebody sang something like that at the weekend, but none of us could understand. We don't care about something.
Yeah, I was like, we don't care about Wanderers. We don't care about the Vile.
Got an exclusive for the film, but I can't announce it on air. But we'll tell everybody afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Lee Mailing's one used to be one of my ones against Arsenal.
Oh yeah, let's all do the Wenger.
No.
Yeah, and I'd rather have a dinghy than a canoe.
If I remember rightly, he went through every type of flotation device because at one point it was raft. We had dinghy, we had raft. Didn't we have a Ringo at one point as well that people were going on floating? Yeah, everything changed just to get it through on that one.
Oh, we used to have the three wheels. We used to have the 3 wheels on my wagon song. We did that was quite a long song as well. There was only about 10 of us that sung that.
Go on, Road.
No, I was just going to say, I remember playing the Albion one Saturday, early kick-off on a Saturday, and Carnu came to take a corner, and everyone was singing, rather have speedboat than a Carnu. I do remember that.
When we tried to buy macaroni as well, you went to Middlesbrough, and every time we played Middlesbrough, macaroni, yeah, that was funny as well.
I do miss a good old. When we send people, when we did relegate teams, we sing a good old fashioned "We'll meet again."
We'll meet again.
I love that.
Yeah, when we were 4-0 up against Leeds.
Yeah. We'll meet again.
Yeah.
It's just funny. And of course, I love it when we do play them lot up the road, and we just high pitched, sing their name high pitched.
Yeah, I remember us being
like rabid mice.
I remember the wrestlers on Soccer AM. Easy.
Yeah.
We were doing that to Villa at 2-0 up against them. I remember that in
2-0 up.
2005, all our fans were going, easy.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah. And do you remember the Thomas Sorensen one as well when he cuts up at St Andrews? Nice one, Tommy.
Nice one, Tommy. Yeah.
Nice one, Tommy. Nice one, son. Nice one, Tommy. You know you're number one or something when he like that.
Right. Yeah.
That's cracking me up as well, yeah.
Chris, can we read out Michael Woods' one? I'm just borderline whether we can or not.
Yeah,
okay. Arsenal, you can wash your hands and face, and you can wash your Arsenal.
Yeah, brilliant. No, there's been some great chants, but
Team of Tebbelis is up there as well.
Gotta be.
So you're in a good mood. You go down and you hear everyone singing it, and you're ready for the beer to fly. That's what happens in a way
That's what it's known for now, isn't it? Inside, especially at half time, it tends to be the song that's sang. And yes, the beer that's been purchased doesn't get drank; it gets worn.
Yeah.
Yeah, loving the guest the player as well on the screens before the game. You know, anyone notice that with the badges, the clubs that they played for? It's always obviously blue.
Yeah.
And then you got to get, and then you got. I'm on a unbeaten run at the moment. I've got every one of them so far. So no one noticed that? Craig?
No. I've got to say I've not seen it, but then the past couple of games I haven't really got in until about 10-15 minutes before kickoff, so I miss a lot of what's going on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, on the big screens they put up players like the badges at the clubs that they play for. Have you seen it, Claire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see who they play.
Yeah, you get them as well, Claire?
I don't really take much interest. I'm too busy either
Drinking.
seeing where my dad and my brother are.
Yeah.
Or I'm talking.
Okay.
I'll probably get it wrong anyway.
Have a go next time and let us know how you got on.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, there's been some great chants over the years, hasn't there? Really, it's been brilliant.
Yeah, the drum one's the greatest one because whoever suggests we have a drum, the answer's no.
Yeah, we don't need a drum. We don't need clappers, and we don't need a drum.
No.
With Birmingham City, we don't need a drum. That was another one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I've still got my clapper. I kept it for
cream for that.
Yeah, I can't say.
You throw it on then, Chris.
That was that.
Starting to itch a bit now as well.
Predictions for tomorrow. Then I'll start us off with 2-0 Blues tomorrow. Alan?
Yeah, same.
Conservative.
Repeated the pre-season game.
Yeah, Road?
I'm going to say we'll scrape 2-1. I think we might compete.
Really?
Craig?
No, I might just say I think we'll only get a 1-0 because I think there'll be that many changes, and I don't know. You know, Shrewsbury how they will set up, but I think we'll just scrape by with a 1-0.
Okay, Claire.
2-1. Just hope it doesn't go to penalties.
And it's the same deal with the penalties, is it, for an extra point?
Bonus point.
So if it's a draw, you get an extra bonus point. And half of us won't want to be there, and we got work in the next morning. So Blues, just please win.
I saw Gary Neville talking about that, like doing it permanently in football. If a game finishes in a draw, it always goes to penalties, and you get an extra point.
What league games?
Yeah. Nah, not for me. Nah.
There's a few more songs come through, but Pete Taylor said when we were playing away at St Andrews against Coventry, you couldn't beat singing "Who's the Anchor in My Seat?"
Yeah.
I'll tell you one that hits home hard is the fire drill song. I don't like that when things are going bad.
Fire drill, yeah.
That ain't good, is it?
Yeah, definitely. Mark Meredith, prediction for tomorrow?
I predict Chris Brown being naked on the next show after the international break.
Get in there.
Going to see the score 6, but
Yeah, I think that'd be goals.
No, I don't. No, in all truthfulness, I'm with Craig. I think probably just a 1-0.
The message board, Nigel Mann saying 3-0 Blues, Michael Evans 3-1 Blues, Dom Kavanagh 2-0 Blues, Trevor Malloy 3-1 Blues, Mike Hill 3-1 Blues, Daniel Ruin 4-0 Blues, Dave Twine 2-1 Blues. The sign-on chant apparently is one that people remember quite fondly as well, especially
the Liverpool.
As is in the Liverpool slums, looking in the dustbins for something to eat.
Yeah.
You find a dead dog and you think it's a treat.
In the Liverpool slums. Love it.
Yeah, there's been some good ones.
That's in the Coventry slums, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Chris, Spanish there.
Chris, we want your predictions for tomorrow.
I'm going to go for 3-0.
Okay, that'll do.
Yeah, 3-0.
Yeah.
Easy.
It's also a reminder as well, Paul. We do need to win tomorrow. I think I mentioned it earlier, because if we don't win tomorrow, that game against Fulham under 21 is going to be a dead rubber.
Yeah.
It's going to be very low, very low crowd for that one.
Yeah.
So we do need to win, stay in it tomorrow, really.
Kenny Taylor's also said against Liverpool, how about singing "Feed the Scousers" to this tune of Band-Aid? It was always hilarious.
Yeah.
Let them know it's Christmas time.
Yeah.
Well, there's that one when we went to Liverpool or Everton. It was like, "Hey, Scouser, I want to know where's my stereo and my DVD." And people can chip in. My stereo and my DVD. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, Michael Woods, how about My Garden Shed? That was a cracker as well.
That's been sung at every away game, apart from Charlton.
Yeah. The first time my daughter heard that, she was laughing her head off. It was hilarious.
My outside bog, they sang the one time.
My outside what?
Bog. Got some turd and some bog roll. It was the...
Oh. I quite like, to be honest.
Actually, Mark Adams, you're used to that, aren't you, really? An outside bog with a bucket and a turd and some sort of roll.
You just described my job.
Oh, that's a conversation for another time as well. The loudest fans down the Blues, yeah.
The loudest
away fans?
Loudest away fans, you mean?
Yeah, loudest away fans, yeah.
Oh, Rangers pre-season.
Nobody's touched them, actually, from that point of view.
Rangers are unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know,
that as well, Dave Twine, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to see the Blues win away. I remember singing that at Wolves when...
That's been very, very long time to be sang, though.
Yeah.
Only once a year. Just once a year, isn't it?
Last 2 seasons, we've never won over Christmas, so that one's been kept in the locker for this season.
Yeah. All the old school songs are coming out the locker at the moment, though. They everybody... It changes from game to game, but they are, all the old school ones are coming out because the kids are generally looking around going, what are they talking about?
I know, but we need to start singing Keep Right On to the End of the Road. Some people are singing Till.
Yeah. Greg Downs as well, he had a good song, didn't he? He's got no hair, but we don't care. Remember that?
Greg Downs.
Yes.
Greg Downs.
It's not 9 o'clock.
Of salmon.
It's not 9 o'clock, it's 8 o'clock.
So that's it. That's another episode done. And these weeks and episodes fly by. Honestly, don't sit anywhere where an hour and a half goes quicker in my life. So yeah, thank you everyone again for watching. We'll have a break next week for the international break. And I've been Paul Hipkiss. It's good night from me, and it's good night from Claire Giblin.
Good night from me, and it's good night from the Robe.
Oh, hello. Good night from me, and good night from Craig Courtney.
Well, it's a good night for me, and I'm not saying hello at this time of night. I'm saying goodbye, and it's a good night from the chairman of the board.
Thank you. Good night, everybody. And from me in sunny Sussex, still sunny. And it's a good night from Mark Meredith, whose team Dallas drew 0-0 last night, I believe. That's right.
Yes, it did. Yeah. It's a good night from me, and I'll see everybody in England in 48 hours or so.
Journey, mate. Have a safe journey over.
Yeah, safe journey, buddy.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Oh, and it's a good night from me as well.
I'm sorry, it's a good night from Chris Brown as well.
I don't know. Some people are going to have to start turning up at rehearsals.
Bye, Billy Bob.
I didn't mess up on my own then, did I?
Yeah.
The times they are changing.
Same house again, Ro.
Hey?
In that same house again.
I know. All those weeks of observation paid off.
He's weird as well. Have you noticed he's swearing about getting lights around?
How come you blurred your background out, Meredith? You got memorabilia behind you?
Yeah, I'm not hiding it from Ro.
Should I stay on time to Dallas on Wednesday? You gonna bring any presents for us, Mark?
Who said that?
Me?
Oh, I'm back in the gloves, Robe. Stay away.